Hello everyone, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and I'm in a very sunny, hot part of the world right now. And it is not Bali, it is not Thailand, no, it is Dusseldorf in Germany, but it is in the heat of the summer. And of course, I am filming a video for my British Championships while in Germany, because, I didn't have the time while I was in the UK to film some kind of recap. But yeah, I actually have a little bit of time now because my next tournament, the Gütersloh Open, is taking place starting tomorrow. And actually that reminds me, I still need to book my train ticket to get there. So okay, I'll worry about this after this video, I guess. But yeah, I wanted to share some recaps about the British. I did something like this for Citrus, and I kind of wanted to do something like this for all of my tournaments this summer. And I'd say there are two very nice kind of tangible achievements from the British. If you haven't heard, the first one is that I managed to beat a Grandmaster, which is really cool. This was actually in the British Rapid Play, a side event of the main major open which I was competing in, which was one classical game a day. So I took a bye in one round and just played the day rapid instead. So I managed to beat a GM in that tournament, which I'll talk a bit about later. And secondly, I scored 6 out of 9 in the British, or technically 5 out of 7, but with 2 half-point buys, so 6 out of 9. And as a result, I got qualified for the main British Championships the following year, which will take place in Coventry. So I haven't decided for sure if I'm playing, but probably I will. I mean, it's a good opportunity to test myself against much stronger opponents. So yeah, these are the tangible good things. But I would say in terms of a chess, what I'm very, very happy with and happy to report on is I feel like the two biggest weaknesses that I had during Citrus, one was missing my opponent's resources, and two was just not being 100% physically and mentally fit at the board. I would say that I felt like I did a lot better on the first aspect, like the missing the opponent's weaknesses. I felt like, I mean, maybe it's as a result of playing slightly weaker opponents, at least on paper, but yeah, I think when I look over the games and the mistakes that were made, it wasn't really a case of missing my opponent's resources that was the real problem. I think I'll come on to the real problem soon, but I think the biggest problem, weirdly enough, was actually like some practical decision making, which would have given me chances to, make a draw into a win or make a loss into a draw, or something like this. But having said that, I only lost one game the whole tournament. So yeah, clearly things are going fairly well when you only lose one game. But yeah, and I'd say about like the physical, mental and physical fitness, this was improved a lot. And of course, I wasn't like going with friends, so I wasn't doing as much drinking and partying and whatnot. But even on the days where I felt like maybe even a little bit ill or extremely fatigued, somehow I was able to just like retain a level of focus which I wasn't able to do as much in Citrus. And I think it also might come from just like a stamina aspect of like having played that one tournament, the next tournament becomes a bit easier, and hopefully the trend will continue for this Gütersloh tournament. Hopefully I feel like I'm quite classically warmed up, and that will keep me going, even though these are going to be double rounds, which is going to be pretty rough, I can imagine. But yeah, in terms of like the practical decisions, maybe I'll just go through a few of them. I've actually got a journal here, which I've been using. I bought the notebook in Japan. But yeah, like what the aim of the notebook is, maybe I can quickly flip this camera around. Yeah, so the aim of this notebook is to just keep a record of all my games and my results. And rather than have like notation records, I just wanted to keep track of like some thoughts during the game, like what went well, what could have gone better, and just a log of like the openings played. So I can very briefly touch upon each of the games here. So the first game I played against a fella called Shay Hanlon. Actually, Shay is someone who has followed Chess Lifestyle for a while, and I'd even given some Benoni resources to him. So I was quite worried to have to play against his 1d4. And in fact, he actually played a fantastic game. I mean, pretty much engine perfect for the most part. But then when it got a bit complicated in the middle game, he basically made... he kind of navigated the complications using his intuition. And what I've learned the hard way is that in classical, so much of the time, it needs to be backed up concretely. And if you don't have that calculation and that concreteness to back it up, it can often go wrong very quickly. And that's exactly what happened. Like, the most intuitive move was the line he went down, and I knew that it was bad because of a concrete factor at the end of the line. And after that, Shay just resigned. So yeah, it's just a reminder that round one that, yeah, these concrete aspects are really the most important. I'd say for round two, I was playing a young junior with the last name Shivakuma, and I'll be definitely looking out for his name because, I mean, he really defended fantastically. And I'd say like the only real mistake I made, I mean, there were some like subtleties in terms of like playing slightly better engine moves at times, but the only real mistake I made was one of these like practical decision making skills, which I have Faz to shout out here because he was the one who recommended this to me. But on move 39 of the game, maybe I can like impose a board here or something. Yeah, on move 39 of the game, I had this opportunity, rather than to just take a pawn, which I felt would have given me the best chances, maybe objectively it does, I could have offered a piece trade to my opponent. And if my opponent had taken that piece trade, then it would have been a disaster for him, and him having to work that out on move 40 with a minute left on the clock would have been a really great practical move to have made. So these are kind of aspects which even, someone who thinks of themselves as like a more practical player, I can still improve on this. So yeah, I thought I played a really fantastic game, and I just couldn't do enough to get the win. But he really found some fantastic defensive moves, so I don't hold myself too accountable for not converting this one. Then round three, I had a really crazy Guggen It's a Modern game, and yeah, I've written some ideas in terms of my preparation, how I can potentially change that, because this is a very critical line on the engine, and I've got 3 games now on the database of this critical line. So luckily there are multiple ways I can switch it up. So I have already started investigating some ways I can do that, which will hopefully catch my future opponents off guard. I did have one moment where I missed a resource for myself, which could have made things a lot easier, but it was an extremely complicated game, and I think I'd reached some level of fatigue in terms of being able to check everything. So it does make sense to me, and I managed to pull off the win anyway, so I think this game went very well. Round 4, this was an unbelievably... it was just an unbelievable psychological collapse in the opening, actually. This was against a former student of mine, and basically I messed up in the opening, making a tragic positional error, which I would never make, not even in a bullet game, but I was so thrown off by his opening preparation and what I was trying to achieve in the opening that I ended up just playing really badly. And I did well again to complicate the position, and this was actually a nice skill. I think because I was so positionally busted, being able to complicate the position made the positional aspects less important, and just it's more dependent on what pieces are hanging and what's flying everywhere. So this was nice practical play to survive. And actually I was even pushing the rook and 4 against rook and 3 pawns, but again didn't do enough to win. So this was a draw. And I think I have to say, after this next round, which I lost, I kind of had some weight taken off my shoulders, because I think I felt like a loss was coming, and I was just so like maybe anxious or like stressed about my play. And actually, this game I think could have gone very differently had I gotten away with my ambitious play in the opening, but this was what I learned. And actually, I made the same mistake a year ago in the Prague Open in a very similar fashion, where I was just being a bit too ambitious in the opening. And this led to me, getting caught up, and I didn't even complete the opening, both in my game against the 2100 in Prague and this game against Colin, who actually was my highest scoring opponent, so he had like a really good tournament as well. He also scored 6 out of 9. And yeah, that was a really good lesson. I mean, he really punished me. He played flawlessly, it felt like I needed that, like another clear example of why I need to be a bit less ambitious with the black pieces. And then my next game, round 6, was against a very underrated 1800 from Ireland, and we had a very, very closely fought game. I think we were evenly matched, and he just pushed too hard for the win at the end, which actually gave me a chance to go for a mating attack, and I managed to pull it off. So I think this was really well played from me. Like, I handled the dynamics very well. I had to consider many options for my opponent, and I think I did well to navigate that. And this definitely gave me some confidence into my final round of the Major Open. I did play the Rapid in between, but the final round of the Major Open, I played Safsara, who is also a frequent on Chess Lifestyle and a former student. And Safsara played a fantastic game for the most part. And actually, the moment where we repeated 2 moves and Safsara offered me a draw, I mean, objectively speaking, I should just take it. And any move that I play that doesn't repeat, I am just slightly worse. But I did play on. I played for the slightly worse position. And actually, this is where Safsara's weaknesses kind of came to light. And I can probably quote Brandon Clark's take on this kind of play, which is, if you can't beat them in the opening, then you try to beat them in the middle game. If you can't beat them in the middle game, you beat them in the end game. And I think this is what happened with Safsara. Like, I played a good opening, but so did Safsara. I played a good middle game, so did Safsara. So I either can just take the draw there and be like, fair play, or I can just test him and push him into the end game where, I played a much better end game than he did. So, you always have 3 opportunities to beat your opponent. And if you back yourself in all 3 parts, then you can try and make the most of it and get these wins. So I think I did have some really good elements of practical play. But also there were those moments where I could have played practically a bit better. Like the game I lost, I could, practically speaking, not be as ambitious with the black pieces. The game I drew, I had that one opportunity on move 40 to complicate matters. So small things, but I think as a whole, I was quite happy with how I played, especially compared to the weaknesses and mistakes I was making in Citrus. So I guess the last thing to mention is about this rapid play. And I think actually rapid play, it's my strongest suit, because I feel like blitz requires too much intuition, and I think I have too many doubts about my intuition. And I play better chess when I can calculate methodically, which I need time for. But I would say that maybe in rapid, my headspace is really, really good. And then these kind of practical decision making is good because I'm also extremely focused. So I think all in all, I think rapid is the perfect time control for me. And also my openings lend itself better in rapid, objectively speaking. So basically I had a really, really good rapid event. I scored 5 out of 7. In my 3rd round, I had to play a GM, and I managed to beat him. I go into a lot more detail in my last video I uploaded. But it was actually really interesting because in round 6, it was kind of all to play for. If I'd won that round 6, then I'd probably win the whole thing. And I had an extremely well played game from both me and my opponent. And this one I actually still have a lot of questions about, so I'm going to have to ask my coach Roger to go through this with me in greater detail. I lost this one. And I mean, actually the game was probably like up and down within like plus 0.5 and minus 0.5 for the whole game. until literally the final couple moves, which I'm lost, but I think practically speaking, I was probably lost for a few more moves. So yeah, I lost this game against the 2100, and I actually found in the final round, like I really couldn't focus because I was thinking so much about this last round loss. And luckily my opponent also wanted to just go home quickly, and he was slightly higher rated than me, so just took an early draw against him. So I finished on 5 out of 7. But yeah, it was really fun to play, and I can really see myself playing more rapid in future. I really like the time control. And yeah, the reason for my other buy was that I gave a chess presentation, which hopefully at some point I will get a video recording from Dylan. We videoed most of the talk. Unfortunately, like there was some technical error, and Dylan's phone stopped recording partway through. But yeah, this was a fun talk, which I gave at the World Museum in Liverpool, just on chess and, like, you know, the different ways chess can impact your life, and also how you can get more involved within the chess world. So, you know, I had a lot to comment on in this kind of topic, as you can imagine. So yeah, the British as a whole was really, really fun. I mean, I'm based in Liverpool now, and I will be for the next year, and I'm really looking forward to getting more involved with, you know, John Littlewood in the main league, Liverpool Chess Club in the Wirral League, and the Golden Cockerels in the 4NCL. So gonna get involved with all of these different chess activities, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of, like, you know, internal events at the Liverpool club, which I'm gonna come along to. And the great thing about Liverpool is that the city centre is really small, and because I'm just living just outside the city centre, it's extremely easy just to walk in and play in all of these events. So really in the epicenter for you know, lots and lots of chess. So hopefully that, you know, pays off. And I really think that especially actually beating the GM, I have maybe if I can shout out one person in particular, probably Adrian from Thailand. I mean, like, I actually felt like I was playing a very similar player, and I think if not for the experience I had of countless blitz games against Adrian, who's, you know, now he's in 2000 FIDE, but at the time he was 1900 FIDE and 2900 online. So, you know, that just shows you how deflated ratings are in Asia. But yeah, all of these countless blitz games, I think it kind of like hardened me up to this kind of level, and that allowed me to kind of actually play at this level when I needed to against this GM. So yeah, that was cool. And yeah, maybe one final thing to note is I'm currently sitting on a park bench, and I'm going through this book. And what you'll notice is that the rating on the left-hand side is for 1500 to 1800 ELO. These are FIDE ratings before the rating increase that took place. So probably this is more like maybe like 1700 to 1950. But actually the mistakes that were made in the book are extremely, extremely relevant to the kind of mistakes I was making a lot in the past, but even still, I would say are kind of like flaws in my chess. So it's really, really fascinating to get Davrin's opinion on, you know, missing opponents' resources, missing tactical resources, you know, making positional errors, like all kinds of basic errors. But just, you know, just hearing it from Davrin's point of view as a coach and as a much stronger player, very, very useful. So I'll probably buy the book myself to use with students, and even just for myself. I'm just borrowing it from my friend Sven. Yeah, I'll be checking out the chess club this evening, and unfortunately I don't have any epic montage of my British championships. I focused a lot more just on playing rather than recording, and I probably couldn't top the Citrus one anyway. So I think on that note, guys, I will call it a day, and thank you to everyone who is supporting the stream just by watching, or even supporting by being a YouTube member or Patreon sub. Appreciate you guys a lot. So thank you for tuning in, and see you probably for another recap video for this Gütersloh tournament happening this weekend. Okay, bye guys.